Gideon is, well, he's something of a mystery, but he's a mystery that once revealed, reveals the key to the whole premise of the show.
What's the worst thing you've ever experienced?
You.
When you first meet him, you will consider him just to be a prisoner, someone with a story to tell that you may or may not believe.
Gideon affects everything in Lucy's life. So he's quite a sinister presence. And then sometimes he'll do a complete 180 and be very kind. So you never really know where you stand with him.
He seems to know quite a lot about Lucy, and we don't know why. Sometimes he seems to know more about Lucy than she does herself. We're not quite sure if he's a good or a bad person.
He is someone on the edges of society, definitely a threat to society. He appears to be a heartless murderer, but he's not entirely that.
You still have questions. I can help you answer them.
He's so dangerous and disturbing and vulnerable in some ways.
With writing a character like Gideon, it's about what you don't write. I know what he's been through and I know what's motivating him, but of course the audience don't know that. And so it's about what you reveal and when you reveal it. And it's a lot of fun teasing out the truth of his character.
You've got me on 4 counts of murder, life in prison. What good would a confession do me?
I think that what we learn about Gideon as the season progresses is that he is not random, that he has a specific, focused, and thought-through plan to achieve something bigger.
Even though he does very evil things, how he's got a justification for them and how he struggles. But we understand his motivations are more complicated. There's wonderful conflict and contradiction right in the soul of Gideon.
Peter Capaldi has this incredible ability to switch between the two. He genuinely looks quite unhinged sometimes. And then will switch to, a very tender person.
We really always had Peter Capaldi in our heads. When you read Gideon on the page, can't think of anybody else that would play him the way that he did.
When you're working with actors like this, I think you never stop discovering who the characters are. There's the vision of who the characters are on the page, and then they come along and they don't just stay true to that vision, they build on it and they finesse it and they put the finishing touches on them, and you discover more about them and it makes them much easier to write going forward.
I think the audience will be torn on whether or not Gideon is doing the right thing or not.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything.
I know you didn't, but you will.
You're wrong-footed constantly as an audience member as to whether he's a good person or a bad person. And that is the crux of the series as well, who is a good person and who's a bad person.
Lucy, really, she's drawn to him. It's like being drawn to a fire. She can't move away from him and she wants to know what it is that he knows.
Whether he sort of terrifies you or repulses you, or you sort of end up cheering for him, I guess I don't know how people are going to react to him, because he's such a dangerous and unique character.
Who Gideon is up to you. You've got to come to your own conclusion.